welcome back to my channel. And today in this video I'm going to show you how to make that lotus blouse. So I'm going to make the lotus petals with this green color fabric. So if you're going to make the same petal in the raw silk, for sure you can't do that, because you can see how it's getting frayed out. So as soon as you cut the raw silk, you have to sew the raw silk or else it will fray out like this. So it's impossible to do a particular design with raw silk. So you can buy a very good cotton fabric and neckline canvas, that's the interfacing, and pattern paper to draw the pattern. So let's get started. I'm going to start from the folded edge of the paper. So just I have folded the paper in half, and from here I'm going to draw the petals. It just depends upon you. If you want a very thick petal, you can draw a thick petal, and if you want a very thin petal, you can also draw a thin petal. So if you make a thick petal, it just makes 3 to 4 petals to finish off the blouse. So if you make the petal to be thin, it just takes 5 to 6 petals to finish off the blouse. So it just absolutely depends upon you. Okay. I'm going to start from here again. I'm going to go all the way up like this. So I'll be continue drawing this petal. So it's if you want a big petal, you can draw big petal. I'm just drawing a medium size petal, not too big and not too small. Okay. So now I'm going to give a little bit more shape to the petal tip. Okay. And then once it's done, I'll be cutting this out. See? So I'll be cutting all the petals. This is going to be the center petal, like a water droplet. So this is going to be the first petal. And I'm going to cut all the petals in the same way. See, be careful while giving the shape. So like this, I'm going to cut all the petals out of the flower. So now I'm going to assemble all the petals together so that I won't be confused while sewing these petals together. Okay, first assemble everything together and then going to number all the petals. See this how it's going to come. So this is going to be number 1, number 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is going to be the last one, 6. So all these 6, from starting from the 2 to 6, you're going to cut 4, and the number 1 petal you're going to cut 2. That is the interfacing canvas I'm talking about. So the first one I'm going to cut 2 of the interfacing, and the rest of that I'm going to cut 4 times of the interfacing. So now I'm just folded my interfacing canvas like this, and I have placed my first petal on top of that, and I'm securing it with pin, and I'm going to cut this twice. See, I made a 2 piece out of this, and I'm going to do this same to the rest of the petals. Same like that, I'm just folding the canvas into 4 times. I have folded once and I'm folding it that again, and I'm going to take my next petal, number 2, and I'm placing that on top of my interfacing canvas, pin that in place. That's very important so that it will be secured in place. And I'm going to cut this out. So you need 4 of this, that is going to be on the left hand side. So you need right hand side and left hand side too. So I'm going to line each the petal with the same canvas and the fabric. So you need 2 of each petal. So now I'm cutting the 4 of the canvas for each petal like this. Give a nice and neat shape. If you're not giving an exact shape to the canvas, it's not going to look nice. See, I just made a 4 of the canvas. So same like that, I'm going to make the 3rd petal. It's very important to give a shape on the canvas. Okay, you're going to slowly cut and you're going to give a nice and neat shape. So same like that, I'm going to do the same for all my petals. And then I'm going to cut the main fabric for all these petals. Okay, same like that, I just made a 4 of these. Okay, so now I have placed all my petals on the fabric, and you can see now I'm going to work on with my first petal. So fold the fabric. So fold the fabric in 2, that is, fold the fabric in twice, and place the petal at the exact folded edge of the fabric. So you need just 2 of this. Okay, and you have to leave a marginal amount of fabric on all the sides of the petal, so that you have to cut and turn the fabric into the canvas. So I'm cutting this out. So once it's done, it's going to look like this. Okay, and I'd be just snipping all the edges, and I'm going to turn that with the canvas. Same like that, I'm going to do to my second petal. So leave enough fabric on either sides of the petal, all the 4 sides, and I'm just going to draw a line showing you that I'm just leaving more than a 1/4 inch on all the 4 sides of the fabric. Okay. So this side you don't want to give a shape. So anyhow, when I place my first petal, this place is going to hide, you can see. So I'm going to take the fabric as like that. So it's going to come nice and neat. As I'm going to overlap my first petal, it is not going to be visible. So it's very important to leave that fabric. If you're not leaving that margin amount of fabric, you can't even assemble the flower. You won't get the exact kind of flower. Make sure you leave that particular place for assembling the flower. It goes for all the petals, all the 6 petals. You have to leave a marginal amount of fabric over that particular portion. So now just working on with my 5th petal. Same like that, I'm going to just leave fabric on all the 4 sides, especially on the down side of the petal. So I just draw and show you. See, you're going to leave enough amount of fabric over this side. So I'm just going to cut this out. So you need a 2-piece in this pattern, and you need a 2-piece in a reverse pattern. Okay? Turn the paper upside down and make a 2 of that, and make a 2 like this, what I showed you right now. So make sure you pin all the canvas along with the fabric the cut, or else you might miss the shape and the pattern of the fabric. So now I'm going to work on with 4. So 2 of the pattern you're going to cut like this, and 2 you're going to turn and keep like that. So make sure you cut 2 of this in one side and 2 in another side. So please do the same to all your petals. So same like that, you're going to place on the fabric and you're going to cut the fabric according to the canvas. Okay, so make sure now you place your stitch of your machine to be the biggest stitch. So now I'm going to put a basting stitch. So before putting that, I'm just going to snip the fabric like this. Okay, so that I will have a nice and neat turn. Okay. So the basting stitch is going to be the biggest stitch in your machine. So where once it's done, we have to remove the stitch, but we are going to add a very big stitch. Okay. Little by little you're going to fold the fabric on the canvas and you're going to sew that together. I'm folding that and placing that on the canvas and I'm sewing that together. Okay. So take your time and make a nice and neat shape to the petals. Okay, slowly you're going to fold that in and you're going to make the petals. Okay, once it's done, it's going to look like this. So, and once the blouse is done, we can unpick the thread. Okay, so same like that, I'm going to lay my second canvas on top fabric and I'm just snipping that all around the canvas, not on the canvas, on the fabric, and I'm going to sew that together. Okay, little by little you fold the fabric in. So once it's done, I'm going to match both of this like this and I'm going to put a stitch on the exact corner of the petal. It's going to look like this once it's done. So you're going to match that together and I'm going to put a stitch. So before that, I'm going to finish all the petals. So make sure whenever you get into the curve, you give the snip to the fabric. That makes the fabric to turn really easy on the canvas. If you're not doing this step, for sure you're not going to get the exact shape. For 2 petals, you're going to sew in this way and you're going to just match the margin and you're going to sew this way. And for the next set of petal, you're going to turn the canvas like this, place the canvas like this and you're going to sew that together. So before attaching all the pieces together, I show you how to assemble this. So I made the blouse already, it's done with the neckline. So I'm just going to place the front and back piece of the petal, and before sewing that on the outer edge, I'm going to just lay and show you how it's going to look. Mark the center point of your blouse, and I'm going to lay like this. Sure, the pointy tip of the petal is showing out. So now I'm going to join the front and back part of the petal like this. You're going to sew at the exact margin of the petal. So if it possible, you can just use your fabric glue to stick that together, but I never tried that. uh, I feel that it's been secure if you stitch both together. So little by little I'm just feeding my fabric in the machine like this, and I'm sewing that together. So once it's done, it's going to look a very beautiful teardrop shape like this, and I'm going to just unpick the thread, that is the basting stitch. Okay. So same like that, I'm going to join all my petals, and once my petals has been joined together, I can unpick my basting stitch. Okay. Join both petals together, and you're going to sew that to the exact margin of the petals. So this how it's going to look once it's been assembled together. So what I did is I just glued the lotus to the fabric and leaving the pointy tip of the lotus. Okay. And for gluing that, I just sewn the down part of the lotus. Okay. And if you feel to be insecure, you can just always sew the petals, so from the down till the meeting point of the next petal. So now I will show you how to glue the petals to the fabric. So you can see petals is kept open, and all I sewed at the bottom edge of the petals. So now just take your fabric glue, and I'm just putting some glue on the petals, and I show you how to start sewing this. So from the down part, you're going to go all the way up, and you're going to stop exact point where the next petal meet. Same like that you're going to do to this one. You're going to stop, leaving the petal to hang out little bit. Okay, so now I'm applying a generous amount of fabric glue on the fabric. So just let it dry for 24 hours, and then you're going to iron the petals on top after 24 hours. For sure it's going to look firm, and also it's going to look really nice and neat. So the last step is to attach any kind of lace underneath the lotus. In this way you can hide the uneven in the lotus underneath as we are stitching that together. So to give a pause to the lotus, I'm just attaching this one. So this is just a kind of patchwork. If you want, you can do this, or else you can just always skip this step. So I'm just going to attach this patchwork on the lotus by using a generous amount of fabric glue. Okay. So once it's done, I'm going to stick this on my center petal of my lotus. So it's totally optional. If you want, you can try this. I feel keeping this at the center gives a nice pause for your lotus, and it just looks really nice and beautiful. Okay, it's very important to add this lace underneath. It can be any lace. So now you can see my blouse is totally done with the back part, and you can see how beautiful it is. So this is how it's going to look, and it looks really nice. So if you want the lotus to come at the exact end of the blouse, you can add 2 to 3 petals so that you'll get the lotus to be at the end of the blouse. I hope this is more than enough. And also, if you want to adjust the size of the lotus also, you can always adjust that. So now I got 6 petals. So if you make a big petals, you make only 4 or 5 petals to finish off the entire blouse. If you make a little big petal, so as I did only 6 petal, it just came out half the way. If you want finish off this, so you can add a 2-3 petals on either side of the blouse. And that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this video, because I thoroughly enjoyed making this design. And I'm still working on my new Tamil channel, so once it's been done, I surely intimate through Facebook. So if you are not in my Facebook group, please do check the description box below. I have just uploaded the link. And if you like this video, and if you want more neckline design videos like this, please do on the thumbs up button below, and also do subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any of my new upcoming video. See you next time with a different kind of style. Take care. Bye bye.